Hello there. Welcome today to our webinar. This is Introducing Pledge Payments, Boosts Your Impact with Steady Support. We are so grateful that you decided to spend a little time with us today to talk about pledged payments. My name is Tim Forbes. I'm the VP of Products and Customer Success here at Soapbox. I'm also a former nonprofit accidental techie that was involved in technology and databases and fundraising, marketing, and wore a ton of hats like many of you all do for your organizations. So the topic today is one that is near and dear to my heart, both as a Soapbox Engage employee, as well as somebody who is a former nonprofit person myself. So what are we talking about today? We are talking ultimately, really, about people. We're talking about excited people, motivated people, dedicated people, and generous people. Dedicated, motivated, excited, generous people who are so into your mission that they have decided to give you money for that mission. Some of them, in fact, are so generous and so excited and so motivated that they've chosen to give your organization a lot of money, maybe even so much money that they can't give everything that they want to give you at one time. So they make a pledge, promise to you to say, hey, I love your organization so much, I'm going to give you a certain amount of money over a certain number of months or maybe years. That is a fantastic thing. That's a great thing for your organization, for its mission. It also presents a challenge. That challenge being, how do you get that money in your bank account over time in a way that ideally is easy and efficient for the donor and easy and efficient for your organization? Well, we humbly offer pledge payments as a solution to that problem. What is pledge payments? Pledge payments is a first of its kind feature that allows donors to make secure payments against pledges in your Salesforce Nonprofit Success Pack instance for powerful year-round fundraising. What specifically we're doing in terms of our offering is pledge payments fits within our existing online engagement tools. We've got a lot of those engagement tools. Basically, any way you need to connect with a supporter online, you can do that through Soapbox Engage. And what we've done is taken our donations app and added this pledge payments functionality so that folks who do go ahead and make pledges to you can fulfill those pledges through Soapbox. How exactly does that work? Well, we're happy to go ahead and walk through a particular use case to see how that happens. We're going to give you the dime tour of pledge payments, and we're going to use a supporter named Phil Penguin. Phil is a very generous, very excited supporter. Phil told you just today that he would like to go ahead and give you $12,000 over the course of the next year. And he's asking, hey, can I go ahead and make monthly installments of $1,000 a month to fulfill that pledge over that time? And your major gift officer, of course, says, yes, Phil, that would be outstanding. Next, your major gift officer comes to Salesforce and proceeds to enter a new opportunity. In this opportunity, your major gift officer selects Phil as the contact who's the primary contact for this opportunity. It's associated with Phil's household account. There's the amount of $12,000, the ask date of today and the close date today, the most efficient fundraising process that you've ever had in your life. Phil just woke up today and decided to give you $12,000. And once your major gift officer goes ahead and clicks save on this record, they can go ahead and plan out what Phil has asked for by creating individual payments due each month on the first of the month, starting in January through the end of December, that are in amounts of $1,000 each, so that all of those payments are open payments and meet that $12,000 pledge that Phil has asked to give. So that is the update that's been done in Salesforce. How do you actually get the money from Phil to have that payment against this pledge? Well, the simplest way from Phil's perspective is for you to go ahead and email Phil a link. And that link is to your website. It includes the ID of the first payment record, so January's payment record. Phil can go ahead and enter the information here for his credit card and click Make a Pledge Payment. Once that is done, Phil will go ahead and see a thank you page for that payment. That payment will also go ahead and be saved to your Soapbox instance after processing with the payment gateway that you use. It'll show up in your transactions view, and it will be designated as a pledge payment and will include the ID of the payment record that it was made against. And then within Salesforce, that payment record will be updated. So it'll be marked as paid. It'll have a payment date. It'll have the payment gateway transaction ID that was provided from your payment processor. We save the credit card information for expiration month, year, last four digits, and the card brand, all updated here within Soapbox. So as simple as email Phil the link, he clicks it, he gives you his credit card information through the Soapbox form and processes the payment, you're done. What if Phil would like to go ahead and have more of a self-service kind of experience? Well, you can take things a step further by having Phil have a user account that will allow him to log in to the front end of your site through our Portals add-on. And Phil can do that in 3 different ways. He can log in with a username and password that he created. He can log in by email. So if he's not interested in remembering a password, he can go ahead and click the login by email button, enter his email address. Then he will receive an email with a button that will allow him to simply click it. He'll be returned to your website and logged in automatically. So he doesn't need to remember a password at all. Or if your organization has something set up like maybe an Experience Cloud site or other services that use OAuth, you can have a single sign-on experience, or sorry, SSO. You can have a single sign-on experience that will allow Phil to click this button, and in this case, enter in his Experience Cloud credentials, and then that will authenticate him to your Soapbox site, so he can go ahead and log in. Once logged in, Phil can go to a My Pledges view. And in this view, we can see that opportunity record that was created by your major gifts officer. We see the status of close one. We see the date that Phil pledged to make this donation. We see the pledge amount. We see the paid amount. So this reflects that initial payment that Phil made when clicking the link that was emailed to him. And we see the remaining balance. Now, if Phil wants, he can go ahead and click View And when he does that, he opens up a detail page of this opportunity, this pledge. Here we see that same information for status, pledge date, pledge amount, paid amount, remaining balance up at the top. And then we see details about the individual payments that are associated with this opportunity, with this pledge. In Phil's case, we see that that initial payment that was due on January 1st is now marked as paid because he just paid it with that link that you emailed him. So we see the date of his payment, we see the payment amount. Then below that, we saw all of the open payments, all of which have these make payment buttons. If Phil clicks make payment, he's taken to that exact same payment form that we saw when we had the process where you emailed him the link and he clicked that. Same exact page, same exact process where he just enters in his credit card information, he clicks submit, and then that updates Salesforce with the new status of this open, soon to be closed or paid payment. Now, the information that we see here, both on the My Pledges view and on the individual My Pledge view, is all coming from Salesforce in real time. So we see the pledges that are the opportunity records designated as pledges in your organization with Phil as the primary contact. And we see all of the pledge or payment records associated with this opportunity. Since it's all being pulled in real time, whatever change you make in Salesforce gets reflected here. So let's say Phil, for his February payment, didn't come to the website and make a payment. You didn't email him the link to have him make a payment. He just sauntered into your office one day there at your organization, and he said, hey, I was just passing through. I thought I'd write a check for February's payment. Here you go. Well, you can go ahead and receive that payment and then hop into Salesforce, go to that payment record, mark it as paid, and it will be reflected here in Soapbox as paid. The total paid amount will be updated, the remaining balance will be updated, you'll be good to go. What's more, let's say Phil calls you up and says, hey, things are a little tight this month. I'm not going to be able to make that $1,000 payment in February. Can we just skip that? To which you can simply reply, sure, no problem. We understand, happy to do that. And then you can go into Salesforce, go to the payment record, click edit, choose write-off, click save. And again, that will be updated on the front end when Phil logs in so that it will show as written off and there won't be any make payment button. Or conversely, let's say Phil calls up and says, hey, I just got a bonus from my company. I'm really excited about increasing my pledge amount with you all. Can we do that? And you, of course, say, yes, we'd be happy to. You can edit the total pledged amount for the opportunity in Salesforce to increase it to whatever Phil is looking to increase it to. And then you can either edit the open payment records to reflect that same time horizon, that same schedule that Phil is looking to pay his pledge on, so that you increase those values. Or maybe Phil says, hey, I want to make 3 payments in March. You can go ahead and add 2 additional payment records for March to allow Phil to pay those additional payments. Now, within Soapbox, you've got the ability to customize a bit of the end user experience. So the My Pledges view, we can see this greeting up here at the top. Thank you for your generosity. We see in the page outro where it's saying, hey, if you've got some issues, you can contact us at Member Services. The way that you can do that is just within the Donations app, go into the My Pledges view, Here, you can customize the language just as easy as altering what's listed here. For the My Pledge detail view, we customized the page title. We didn't add any text, but you could do that here if you wish. You can even update the title of the payment button that submits the payment form. So we had make a pledge payment. You can alter that to be whatever you wish. And then you can customize the confirmation page that's shown when somebody submits that pledged payment. Lastly, what you can do to customize the user experience is update a number of things here with how Soapbox is referencing fields in Salesforce. The first one is what's used by Soapbox to determine what opportunities should show up on that My Pledges view to start with. So you can leave this blank if you just want any and all opportunities for which the logged in user is listed as the primary contact, or if you've got a subset of opportunities that you want to designate as pledges so that they show up on the front end, all you need to do is add a custom field that's a checkbox field. Any opportunity that has that field value set to true will go ahead and appear on the front end of the My Pledges view. If it doesn't have that set to true, it will not. So in this case, we created a custom field simply called isPledge. And we made this just a straight up checkbox that can be checked on or off. If you wanted, you could go ahead and make this a formula checkbox field that could evaluate whether or not this should be a pledge based on other values on the opportunity record. It's totally up to you. Then below this, these values determine in Soapbox what fields within Salesforce it's pulling for values of pledge status, pledge date, pledge amount, and then the various payment records fields. You can alter this if you wish. Out of the box, it will assume that you're just using the standard Nonprofit Success Pack data model, and those values will be filled in as such. But if you've got some special use case, some particular edits to the NPSP data model that you've made, you can go ahead and reflect that here. That is the dime tour of our pledge payments functionality. Again, whole purpose is to make it so that your most ardent, generous supporters can give you the money that they've pledged in a way that is easy and efficient for them and easy and efficient for your organization. This is one of the latest updates that we've made to our Soapbox platform. If you are interested in staying abreast of other updates, including any of the iterations that we have, any of the new functionality that we push into the pledged payments feature, I'd recommend that you do any or all of these things. We've got a monthly newsletter you can sign up for. We'll be scheduling out webinars that talk about this feature as well as other features within our suite of apps. We also post community announcements for each release, each updates that we make to the Soapbox platform. We post on the Salesforce Trailblazer community. And if you're a partner of ours and you would like a demo org so that you can get your hands dirty and play this functionality, you can go ahead and reach out and request that, and we'll be happy to help out. Thank you very much for your time and attention. We appreciate you hopping on and walking through this functionality with us, and have a great day.